All right, awesome. Welcome to Meet Me on the Block. This is the first visit. Oh my god, bro.
Keep going.
This is what I get for talking shit. Well, welcome to Meet Me on the Block. This is the first video podcast interview. I'm doing things a little different this year. We got two new co-hosts that will be on the show regular. We got Brittany on the show every Friday. The episode's dropping on Saturday. We got a co-host, my boy J.R, going to be on Mondays and Fridays. So you'll be seeing new episodes on YouTube and all streaming platforms on Tuesdays and Saturdays. So tune in. Y'all saw the title. Today we're talking about the mandate vaccine with the NBA and the Dave Chappelle, the closer situation, what's going on with that. And maybe we have a little time after that, we will discuss the condom new legal law strategy that was set out in California. So tune in. What up? Thank you for joining the show. What up, JR? What up, Brittany? Glad you're on this mug.
It's popping.
Yes, we are lit. And also, if you're a fan of the podcast, we do drink on the podcast. Right now, I got a little bit of this wine left, but then we're going to switch it to that sangria passion fruit. You feel me? Look at the bottle.
It's the dance for me.
Oh yeah, he was getting it. That boy was getting it.
Man, it's Friday, man. I ain't been out in a while, man. I need to dance, man.
Oh yeah, this is like a dancing day. I feel like going to the club. Might be after this. It's like, no, I ain't going to no club.
Y'all like, huh?
I miss going to the club though, but not really at the same time. Cause I don't even dance. I can't dance to save my life. I be standing on the wall.
I miss going to the club. Just getting ready though.
You said what, Brittany?
I was getting ready. It's like 90% of the fun is like,
getting ready
and stepping outside for a little bit.
How long does it take you to get ready? Usually it takes about like 5 hours.
Ooh. To get ready, to be honest, probably like 2 hours. Cause you got the music on, you feel me? You vibing and
it's a mini concert before the concert.
It's a concert, right? So at least
about 2 hours. I got you. Jay, I know it take you about 10 hours, boy. You try to do the waves, you try to be looking clean, boy.
You talking about my going out? How long it take?
Yeah,
we including the showers?
Yep.
My shower is an hour by itself. So
damn, that water bill high as hell.
Hey, bro.
Hey,
bro. Damn, when you going out and stepping, you gotta make sure you clean, boy. I'm telling you.
Dang, I feel a little kind of dirty then, cause my shower about 30 minutes.
It don't make it better when you scratch yourself like that.
I don't see. That's what I'm saying. I got the itch now. I like, ooh, maybe I didn't stay a little longer. Should have stayed. Oh man, but all right. So we all know what's going on. A lot of people are losing their jobs. A lot of companies and organizations are requiring people to do the mandate vaccine. As of right now, I've just found out that it has been a federal order. So most jobs and most employers that are having federal clients do have to obey that order for the vaccine. So that's why a lot of people are losing their job if they are not getting approved with their religion's exemption or medical exemption. But we're not going into that. We're going into the NBA because that is what's the top news right now that's requiring a mandate vaccine. We know star player Kyrie Irving is showing that he's against the mandate vaccine, not the vaccine itself. But it looks like the NBA organization and entertainment streaming services are bashing him. As you know, on Skip and Shannon, people are saying that he should just be quiet, get vaccinated, play basketball. And we also know Stephen A. Smith been on air numerous of times, basically saying that he disagreed with his view on that and that he should just pick one career, either play basketball or do the cause. And I feel like that's not... Yeah,
bro,
that's
who said that though? Was it Shannon said that? Shannon was the one that said he should just like do it for his team and everything. That's who said that?
Yeah, a lot of the entertainment Shannon and pretty much Stephen A. Smith, they're basically saying that They don't disagree what his point is. They don't disagree with the movement that Kyrie's doing. They're just saying that he has a job. He should not be getting paid from the NBA if he's not willing to get vaccinated or do what the company is asking or the organization is asking him to do. If he's not playing basketball games, if he's not going to team practice, then he should not get paid for that. If he wants to get paid, then he should get vaccinated. That's the main issue. Kyrie is not against vaccination. He's just saying that he feels like when a job and an employer is forcing you to make a personal decision, that is wrong. And it looks like Stephen A. Smith, Skip Shannon, and other news outlets are basically not agreeing with that fact. They're just trying to push their agenda saying, hey, you have a personal choice, either get paid or go home. And I feel like that's not right at all. From there. And I do got some clips.
Like they, man, don't NBA players sign contracts, bro?
Exactly.
I feel like if you get a,
so I don't have to do it.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
the contract, you gotta understand though, you're agreeing to do everything that's beneficial to the NBA and to the team that you're under. Now, the NBA is requiring everybody to get vaccinated, you know, and you're being paid to play basketball games. If you're jeopardizing that, the NBA has a right to say we want all our NBA players vaccinated. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, go ahead.
What if they all just decided not to get vaccinated? It's not going to be an NBA.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of unrealistic, even though I wish that would happen. But if that did happen, trust me, the NBA is all about making money. So I definitely think they'll work out something with that. Because
my thing is though, the NBA, they got the right to say, oh, we want all our players vaccinated for the home games, whatever the case may be. But my thing is though, what about like the safety of his family? Like, what if his family just like, you know what I'm saying? The whole discrepancy is they don't want the vaccine, blah blah blah. Don't he have that personal right to say no to it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what Stephen A. Smith, everybody that's on any type of news outlet, even the news, is stating that you do have a personal choice. But it's like saying you working at your job right now, your job say, hey, J.R, we want you to get vaccinated. You feel, hey, I don't feel like I'm vaccinated. I don't need that vaccine. I don't trust it. And they say, okay, cool. You have a personal choice to deny it, but if you don't get it, we're going to let you go. And do you feel like that's right? Because you worked so hard so many years to get in the position that you're at in your company, and the fact that someone can just lay you off on a personal decision like that, that's what Kyrie is fighting for. A lot of doctors,
I'm biased on the whole situation, man. I had to quit a whole job because of other, you know what I'm saying, nonsense. So I don't even know the answer to that question, man. We out here got our own business.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Has anybody been let go officially from the NBA for not getting it?
No. So far, Andrew Wiggins have announced that he did get vaccinated. He was opposed to getting vaccinated. Not saying there's nothing wrong with being vaccinated, but he just felt like it was against his religion. The NBA have rejected his religion exemption and offered that if he doesn't get vaccinated, then he will be not paid for playing this year.
Was it the NBA that rejected
it?
Was it
the NBA.
Forcing you to sell your soul.
Yeah.
To play.
That's what Kyrie's fighting for. Basically,
that shit is not even playing ball no more.
That's why I said that's what Kyrie's fighting for, because outside of basketball, a lot of doctors, a lot of nurses was opposed to getting the vaccine due to a lot of people recovering naturally. Some people had COVID and recovered naturally without getting the vaccine and feel perfectly fine. Some people to this day never gotten COVID. Even if they had COVID, had no symptoms, they're perfectly fine. And it's sadly, a lot of people did lose their lives off COVID as well. But you're trying to get people who feel like me. I personally had COVID. I fully recovered naturally. I feel like my natural antibodies definitely helped me recover. I feel I'm perfectly fine. I don't need a vaccine. Mm-hmm. So you're trying to get people that feel like, hey, we're perfect. We're broke. There's no need to fix it. We're good. So it's
you ever think that you recovered the way you did because of your age and your health choices?
Yes. I feel like the health does play a part, and I feel like your habits play a part. If you're eating well, if you're naturally healthy, if you work out, I feel like it does help you, more to recover naturally. Now, a lot of people do have certain health issues where they can't really, their body's not strong enough. They may need the vaccine or they may need other medical practice to help them recover. But I feel like since the vaccine is not a 100% cure, I feel like no one should be forced to take it. Yeah, the chances are to help lower the chances of getting sick. But if you got people that already naturally recover without anything, they feel like they're perfectly fine. We didn't get medicine to recover to begin with, so why we take something now if we good? That's how I look at it.
It's
So my
the fact that they're forcing people to do it. Like based on fear, they're forcing you to do it. So based on fear of losing your job, you know what I'm saying? And like losing your ability to take care of yourself and your family, it's kind of, I don't know. I feel like the mandate itself is messed up. The vaccine, like I haven't gotten it yet, but like if I did, like I know that I'm healthy enough. I speak that into my body all the time. I know whatever happens, like I'm gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? It's the forceful nature of the situation.
And that's what Kyrie's fighting for. I feel like at the end of the day, a lot of people did sadly lose their lives. And I feel like a lot of people is acting upon fear. People don't, it's the fear of the unknown. To this day, you really don't know how you even can catch COVID, if it's in airborne, if it's through contact, we don't know. So I feel like just the unknown is just fearful. A lot of people are just scared. And I feel like they just want to say, hey, if we all get vaccinated, then, we all vaccinated. So it's not like the unknown or the unvaccinated. And I feel like that's why a lot of people are trying to mandate or enforce the vaccine just because of fear. But the only issue I have with this, and I'm going to play a clip in a few seconds. The only issue I have with this is that no one talking about like the doctors and nurses who rejected the vaccine, who lost their job due to rejecting the vaccine. All you see everywhere on news channels, sports channels, everywhere on the internet is get vaccinated, get vaccinated, get vaccinated. It's not like you're seeing the opposite side, like a balance, like you're saying, oh yeah, if you do get vaccinated, this could happen, or if you do get vaccinated, this the positive could happen. It's like all you see is just straight get vaccinated, and that's why I feel like it's agenda out there as well. And I feel like fear is so high right now. That's why we in the predicament we at right now, where people are losing their jobs. But I'm about to play a clip real quick so y'all can hear. This is what Stephen A. Smith had to say after Kyrie gave a message about him not retiring and his stance on the vaccine, saying that he doesn't oppose anyone for getting vaccinated. He does support anybody who did get vaccinated, and people who choose not to. He just saying this is his reason for not getting vaccinated, and this is Stephen A. Smith response to it. So let me share my screen with you guys. Let's see.
Oh, you fancy.
Oh yeah, so y'all see my screen?
It's coming.
I heard it. Yeah.
Everything good now?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if I can full screen. Oh, I didn't. Can y'all see it now? Is it better?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me press play. See if y'all can hear it. Can y'all hear it?
Kyrie thinking? I'm vexed. No, I can't hear it.
Y'all can't hear it?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I definitely can't hear it.
All right. We have some technical difficulties. You can't have a good podcast without no technical difficulties. Let me see. Let me hear. Let me see if I can share audio. Let me see.
Where are the results? That's what I want to know. Where are the results of this vaccination? Like, because if there were results really, positive, then nobody would be having to be forced to get a vaccination. They would just go out and get it.
Exactly.
They need to get on how to fix that. And then coming back to this mandate, I don't know. I need to get rid of it completely for real.
Okay, let me see if this works.
He looks deep in thought.
Oh.
It says you should add a computer sound now.
All right, hold on. Y'all couldn't hear nothing.
If it is true,
What about
Jay,
now?
if it is, but
You hear it?
I've been covering the NBA
Okay,
now
okay.
for almost 25 years. I mean, this is some of the stupidest nonsense I've ever seen. Just flat out stupid. So let me get this straight. So if the reports are true, because we don't know whether they are or not, okay, but let's give credit to Sham and others who have reported this. It is what it is. Let's go with that, okay? If it is true, Jay, if it is true, Marcus, so you don't have a problem with taking the vaccine, your position is that you're going to sit up there and compromise the championship aspirations of an organization you signed on to represent. You coaxed Kevin Durant into signing on to represent. You played a role in coaxing James Harden into signing on to represent. You're going to compromise all of that because you want to give a voice to the voiceless. Really? And how is that going to work out for you, Kyrie Irving? You're going to disappear from the game of basketball? Who the hell is going to be interested in what you have to say when you have proven that you can't even be trusted enough to do your damn job? A job you volunteered for. This ain't the military where you were drafted. You chose to play basketball. You chose to enter the NBA. You chose to sign that contract as a free agent to go to the Brooklyn Nets. You chose Brooklyn as your destination. You chose the Nets franchise to represent. You asked KD and James Harden to come on board with you in Brooklyn to establish your own legacy, and then you leave them hanging.
All right. After that, what y'all got to say?
He's dramatic. Calm it down.
Is it him leaving them hanging, or like
he's saying the main problem what a lot of people are saying is they're not against what Kyrie's doing. They're just saying he has a job. So they're saying his job is required to just play basketball. If Kyrie want to have a voice for the unvoiceless people, and he needs to stop playing basketball. If he wants to play basketball, then he needs to do what he needs to do. Get vaccinated, go to the team practice, and all that. Kyrie is
do both. Why can't do both?
That's why I'm saying Kyrie is saying that he's not against people getting vaccinated. He's not against the vaccine itself. He just saying that he doesn't like when the organization and the company are putting people in a position where they feel like they have to get vaccinated in order to keep a job. That's what he's fighting for. Now I'm about to play the next little clip. Was y'all able to see the clip, or y'all just was able to hear it?
We was only able to hear it.
All right, got you. Okay, so I'm gonna play the next clip, and this is a basketball player for Orlando Magics. He was just stating his reasons of why he doesn't want to get the vaccine. And let me play that clip for you really quick.
Beliefs and what it is that you do with your body when it comes to putting medicine in there should be your choice, free of the ridicule and the opinion of others.
Jonathan, Josh Robbins with The Athletic. Hesitant to get it?
I would start with, I've had COVID in the past, and so our understanding of antibodies, of natural immunity has changed a great deal from the onset of the pandemic, and is still evolving. I understand that the vaccine would help if you catch COVID, and you'll be able to have less symptoms from contracting it. But with me having COVID in the past and having antibodies with my current age group and physical fitness level, it's not necessarily a fear of mine. Taking the vaccine, like I said, it would decrease my chances of having a severe reaction, but it does open me up to the, albeit rare chance, but the possibility of having an adverse reaction to the vaccine itself. I don't believe that being unvaccinated means infected, or being vaccinated means uninfected. You can still catch COVID with or not having the vaccine. I would say, honestly, the craziness of it all, in terms of not being able to say that it should be everybody's fair choice without being demeaned or talked crazy to, doesn't make one comfortable to do what said person is telling them to do. Yeah, I would say that's a couple of the reasons that, I would say I'm hesitant at this time, but at the end of the day, I don't feel that it is, anyone's reason to come out and say, well, this is why or this is not why. It should just be their decision, and, loving your neighbors, not just loving those that agree with you or look like you or move in the same way that you do. It's loving those who don't.
That part drops mic. That's it.
Drop the mic.
He said everything that needed to be said.
Definitely.
Like it takes bravery to stand up against an organization like the NBA and say, like, no, I don't agree with this. But meanwhile, he's been beloved Kyrie Irving, and now all of a sudden he has an opinion and they ready to drop him. I don't know. That's cold. I feel like the NBA is dead wrong though.
Yeah, and that's what Kyrie is fighting for. And I say, like, you seeing an NBA player other than Kyrie basically states that, and he's not a doctor, but he's speaking truth. And you don't see Skip, you don't see Stephen A. Smith showing a reaction to what he said. They're not saying, okay, this is the possibility of you having an adverse reaction, of people having adverse reaction to the vaccine. So that's why some people that feel like the player Isaiah and Kyrie, like, oh, if you fully recover, I see why you're hesitant of getting it. They're not showing both sides. They're just strictly saying you need to get vaccinated, do your job. And
right.
And earlier this week, Stephen A. Smith also announced on the air that he, the First Take actually gave him a choice to get vaccinated and or not to get vaccinated, but he even said on air that if he didn't get vaccinated, he'd been fired. So I felt like, yeah, that's why I said I felt like if he was in a position of, he wanted to work, so he didn't want to get fired, so he took it. A lot of people don't feel that way. So
the vaccine doesn't mean that you're not going to get COVID. It just means you're basically
it's just to lower the chances of spreading COVID. But at the same time, they're not talking about the people like player Isaiah from Orlando Magic stated that you can have a reaction to COVID. Right now, J.R. and Brandon, y'all can have gotten the vaccine to be totally fine. Y'all don't have COVID, y'all good, everything normal. On my hand, I can get the vaccine and have an adverse reaction to it where I could promptly get ill and pass away. No one talks about that. They'll just move on. They'll just say, hey, Cno didn't make it due to COVID. So we still want you to get vaccinated though.
Right.
So I'm like right now I feel perfectly healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's wrong. So I feel like a lot of people out there are like, hey, there's people out there that ain't even got COVID. COVID been out last year. They've been outside, they've been to Walmart. We good. And then there's people that got COVID like me and fully recovered that took no medicine, didn't go to no hospital. We good. And there's also people that just scared to say, hey, I just want to get vaccinated. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like just for something that can still, even if you're vaccinated, you can still get COVID and it could cause the same effects. I feel like it shouldn't be like forced, like, hey, you'll get fired if you don't get vaccinated. And it doesn't matter. You could have a whole doctor's degree and they don't even care about that. You can work for the company for 20 years, but since you didn't get vaccinated, they can have it let you go. And a lot of people are let go because of that. And that's what Kyrie is saying is wrong.
I can see them maybe, I don't know, like having another incentive, like maybe you get like some sort of money or some sort of compensation if you are willing to get vaccinated. Because at this point, this is a test. Like we're all test subjects at this point. Like this hasn't been something that's been tested for years and years and years.
Honestly, I'll just object to that. It's been medical reports that people been working on the vaccine for the last few years already. The only issue I have, and I agree with you, everything you said, is people said modern technology advanced so well that you don't have to take the typical 10 to 15 years to develop a vaccine. You can have it done in a year, 3 years, because modern technology is so well advanced that they can just prove a vaccine next year if needed to. And I feel like the same people that said modern technology is so advanced, why do cancer still exist? Why there's no cure for HIV, herpes, all that stuff that's been out there for decades. Decades. But we trust that the government is so sweet in modern technology that we could trust that they got the cure or something that can slower the rate of COVID, but they still don't have the cure for cancer. And if we don't even know they have the cure to cancer, they probably do, but it's just probably higher up in the rich.
Dr. Seppi does. Get rid of the mucus, y'all. Get rid of the mucus. I digress, but
All right.
I
Okay.
don't know. I'm not feeling it. JR, how do you feel about it?
Not feeling it at all. I don't know. It's too much to think about with this vaccine right now. Like right now, they taking booster shots, ain't they? Didn't Biden get on TV and take a booster shot?
Yes.
So-
Now I do wanted to say, because we do have some viewers that probably are vaccinated. It's nothing wrong that you get if you gotten vaccinated. That's a personal choice, and we totally respect it. We also respecting others that choosing not to get vaccinated. So I don't want to feel like people are saying like, oh, they're getting SI vaccine. I'm totally fine with the vaccination. I just feel like we should just respect others that's choosing not to get vaccinated just because the vaccine is not a cure. If it's a cure or something, then yes, it makes sense that everybody should mandate and get the cure. But since it's something that's not a cure, that is the chance to lower it, it's still, yes, it's a positive that could lower your chances, but it's also a negative that you could have an adverse reaction and get super sick without taking the vaccine. So I feel like that's our closing remarks. Brittany says she is against the NBA and its corporations in general that are requiring a mandate vaccine. I believe that most corporate like healthcare, health insurance, they have to obey that because it's a federal order. So anything that has like police, ATF, FBI, health insurance company, hospitals, they actually have to do that because they have federal clients. So I know most organizations say, hey, we respect people, but they have no choice. I'm talking about the NBA. They don't have federal clients. They're choosing just to cooperate with the mandate. So I like corporations that are cooperating, that trying to do it. They don't have to be forced to do it. That's where I feel like it's a lot of issue going on. But we all say no to the mandate vaccine. Not no to vaccine, but no to the mandate.
If you got it,
I wish I had a judge hammer so I could like slam it. For the jerk, boy.
Case closed.
Case closed. Like we out of here. All right. So the next topic is we go get into is y'all want to get into the Dave Chappelle? Y'all know more about that than me though. Y'all know more about that than me though. And that's it.
So what exactly you want to talk about? What is a few points you could talk about? Cancellation of Dave Chappelle or the baby's intake of
that boy strong, boy. Oh boy.
Bro, come on.
He was never ready.
I wasn't ready. But we can talk about, all right, I will say this. I believe Dave Chappelle should not get canceled, but I wouldn't even start off with that. Have y'all feel like this generation now is more sensitive than it's ever been before?
So
you said the generation is sensitive?
Has it been more sensitive than any other generation? Have this generation specifically been more sensitive? Like you can't really walk out without saying, like, you have to watch
the generation though? Or is it the parenting? But you know what I'm saying? Like how we was taught, we like, no, I don't want to do that to my kids. So, bro, is it that bad?
I feel like it's so though. Everybody has like everybody's opinion, you know, you either retweet or you don't. You pass on or you don't. Like, I don't know. It's like these groups, you know, they have major voices now. It's like millions of people on Twitter, you know, millions of people on Instagram sharing this stuff. And it's just like, I don't know, it's kind of like hard. I personally feel like it is a little bit more sensitive because they feel like everybody could just like band together, you know, which is a good thing, you know, don't get me, but an ignorant person can have an opinion, you know, and it's just like, okay, everybody want to band together and be ignorant and, you know, perpetuate, you know, just ignorance. So I don't know, it's kind of hard. I don't know if it's the parenting or anything like that, but I feel like that social media
I don't think it's sensitive though. I just think this is how they talk.
I mean, I just feel like opinion do matter, and I definitely do respect.
Your opinion matter.
I respect all communities. You know, I feel like we get that out there. I respect the LGBT community and every other community. I just feel like, you know, it's like, I feel like, I'll be honest, I'm not against nobody. I don't want nobody to worry about my words, but I feel like nowadays, I had a kid that comment on one of my podcasts. We were talking about this. he told me that nowadays he feel like it's an outsider for him to be straight. Like he felt like it's so much like
You feel like an outsider?
yeah,
Be
like
straight?
like he was saying that he sees so much of that the LGBT community from TV shows, this social media so much, which is no problem with, but he's felt like it's more like him being an outsider that he's straight. Like everybody's that way, and I felt like he said like if he felt like if he could express himself of being a straight person, like people will find that offensive and automatically judge him, saying like you're against us, and then it could cause problems. Like, and I felt like a
Man,
lot of
how old was he?
he was 12.
Man, that's
Damn.
messed up, bro.
12. We gotta
Mhm.
listen to kids. We gotta listen to the youth. I mean, I don't know. I feel like they are trying really, really hard to push acceptance, but I do feel like there are bigger things out there to be talking about. And, as far as pushing, I feel like it should be, I don't know, I feel like it should be something that we talk about. And, I feel like it's important that we accept all people. But I don't know, for a 12-year-old to feel like he's an outsider because he's straight, I mean, that says something.
That's sad.
Like, well, I don't understand why sexuality has to be, forced onto anybody. Like, if that's what you are, that's what you are. All love here. Like, I love everybody. I don't have an ounce of hate for anybody with a sexuality other than mine and my body. But the second you start trying to force anything, it's just like too much. Like, you see it on cartoons, you know what I'm saying? You see it in like Disney shows, like.
And
Superman just
I
became
feel
bisexual.
like it's I call it the reverse wave, where and I feel like the much like love that the LGBT is community, the much area is pushing out there, they do deserve it, because like how the straight young man, 12-year-old, say he feels like an outsider. A lot of people in the LGBT community felt like that for years, where they felt like they couldn't come out. Suicidal rates was high because of that. They felt like they would get judged, they would get bullied. So it's like, and all you saw in their eyes that everything was showed as straight. Like you had to be a man that likes a woman. If you didn't agree with that, then you're an outsider. There's something's wrong with you. And TV shows, you saw man and woman, man and woman. So they're seeing that. But now I feel like the wave have reversed, where now the straight people are feeling that, where they feel like they're the outsider. And because now every show you're seeing that you're going to see someone in the LGBT community. They always had to have someone in that community in shows now, cartoons and all that. And I feel like a lot of straight people are starting to feel that energy, where they be like, oh, I don't want to see too much of that. But you got to understand that a lot of people in the LGBT community was saying the same thing. But I feel like it's not a balance. So I don't agree with like how Boozy was saying it. I don't agree how the baby was saying it, how they worded, but I understand where they're coming from, where they're saying like how kids are watching these cartoons where they aspire to be what they watch on TV. So it's like
Right.
we're like how you have, like, for example, you could have a female actress as a straight man on TV, and you be like, I like those types of women. I want to be able to be on that show. I want to be with those types of people. I want to be that. And you having kids looking at that's in the LGBT community that don't even know what they want yet, but they think it's cool. They're like, oh, I want to do that. I want to do that. And they may not be their decision. They just want to do that. They want to be like that. Where it's like a lot of people that are straight looking at it like, hey, like, no. So, and I feel like it's kind of hypocritical, because we was on top at first and a lot of LGBT community had nobody support them. But I feel like the way this
Just
was,
said we was on top.
But I remember being in middle school and like
yeah, they
there
beat
were
it like that, but
residents who went to my school, you know what I'm saying? And it was all good. Like nobody bothered them. You live your life. You live your best life. Whatever
see,
that.
it's different. See, it's different
you
though.
focus on the wrong stuff.
See, I would say I never judged anybody, but I was saying like how I do talk to people to say on school we did have people in the LGBT community.
Yeah.
We was cool with, and I'll be honest, like I'm from Detroit. In my elementary and school, I never knew about bisexuals. I never knew about trans. We had to figure that if you kiss a guy, you know, you that way. So we always say that. Like I never knew that. I said I never knew that, but I never judged nobody. But that's how
Hey,
people.
what elementary school you went to?
Key Elementary,
Oh.
by Roosevelt Middle. Yeah, you know it.
Are you from Detroit too?
Of course.
Oh yeah, we grew up together.
Oh.
Of course.
Yeah, we grew up together. We went to high school.
Oh, okay. I was born there.
313.
Terrible high school.
Ain't
That's
the
another
same thing.
discussion. Hate that school.
You said high school? I went to Cass my first year, man.
I know.
I still playing with Cass, man.
See, I hate our high school, man.
It's like I don't know. I feel like your sexuality is a natural thing. Like nobody needs to program you to be any kind of way. You know, it's just like you might never see sex on TV. It's not the case, obviously, but let's just say hypothetically, you didn't see sex on TV, like you would still naturally be inclined to figure out how to have sex with whoever it is you want to have sex with.
Because it's natural.
It's natural. Like, I don't feel like it's anything that needs to be like forcefully programmed into anybody. That's who we are. That's what we do. We procreate.
Exactly. That's why I feel like, I mean, I have nothing against the any of the shows now that's including anybody in the LGBT community.
Right.
I get it because everybody's just happy, live your life. I just feel like I understand what people. I'm a realist, so I look at both sides. I understand it's not like, oh, we right, y'all wrong, or y'all right, we wrong. I look at it like you got to understand both sides of the table, and I feel like you're seeing a lot of people like the baby. You know, because everybody had their own practice. When you have kids, you want them to be in a spitting image of yourself. So you want to, that's why we have different religions, you know, like, hey, I want you to believe in this and all that. And like, I feel like when you feel something is attacking what you're trying to program your own, you know, offspring, is like, that's where you cause these issues where people say like, oh, I don't like that. Like, I feel like, cause it's like everywhere now, like it's like programming, like, hey, you have to do this. If you're not this, then you're wrong. Something's wrong with you. You got to do this. This is all fun. Like everybody doing this. And I just feel like everybody want to do what everybody does at the end of the day. Not everybody like us, but I mean, like people, I feel like majority wants to, you know, they look up to something where they want to be like that person. So, and it's like, I don't know how to explain it. Like,
I definitely coming from though, because like straight relationships, I guess, they've always been mainstream, you know. So maybe now because we're kind of like new to it being so mainstream as far as, you know, everything being shared, you know, we're a little bit more sensitive. But when you think about it, like 50 years down the line, they'll be desensitized to it, like we're desensitized to straight relationships right now.
I'm pretty sure that's what we had.
Yeah, I definitely see it going that way.
Y'all see it going that way?
It's not a bad thing.
I mean, I see nothing wrong with it. I'm cool with everybody. Like I have friends I have friends, you know, that was gay. You know, I had no problem with that, homosexual.
Right.
Like they told me later where, you know, I was like, wait, hold on. But then
okay.
but once you choose yourself, I'm like, hey man, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. Like
right.
I'm this way, but I respect you though. Like
right. I definitely feel like it's important for parents to talk about it though. Like the same way you're having conversations with their children about sex, you know, and you know, being safe and things like that. I definitely feel like now it should be a part of the conversation. It should have always been a part of the conversation. But the older generations, you know, they were a lot more rigid than I feel like we are, like as parents. Like if I had a child, you know, who ended up, you know, being gay, trans, what have you, I'd be like, okay, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, be you. Like I'm going to accept my child regardless, and I'm going to love them, and that's just going to be that. But
that's what I was just saying. I like our we're evolving to that. And I feel like every parent, even if you're straight or not, just have that conversation. Let them know it doesn't matter what you are, you're still giving that same amount of love. That's how I feel. And I feel like a lot of older people just don't like change. At the end of the day, they like a certain system. And that's when you look at the government, this in jobs in general, this society. We had a certain system that worked for so many years where if you see something coming to change that, you be like,
For real.
Like, no.
Hold on.
Like if someone came in your house right now, be like, hey, I want the wall black. You ain't getting no bed. You gotta sleep on the floor with a rug. Like, you gonna be like, hold on, bro. Like, you like, I respect you. You be like, I respect you, but hey, I ain't with the change now. Like, come on. Like, I feel like everybody gotta be open up to changing. But off that,
the old way wasn't working.
It wasn't working because it causes the issue that needed to be changed now. A lot of people felt depressed. They felt like they couldn't be opened up, true to themselves. And, it left the world as a divided. But now everything's starting to open now. We just need to accept that difference, love thy neighbor.
Right. And I feel like, even though I said what I said, as far as, it being mainstream now, I grew up in a household, that wasn't so open to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have old school parents. And hey, if that works for them, I don't necessarily agree with everything that they agree with, but I feel like maybe not drawing so much attention to it, like, oh my God, look at them, they're kissing on TV. That's so wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of just like letting it ride, and just, if it's something that sticks out to you, okay. But like, I don't feel like it's always something that needs to be like vocalized.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I feel like
to it.
Exactly. And I feel like this is just a start of us accepting everything that's different. Maybe it leads to something else where, everybody just doesn't matter how you look or anything. We are under the same system of the same love. But you got to start somewhere. So, I'm glad to see that the LGBT community getting that love and energy that they deserve. I just feel like we all, like people in general that's against it, just need to open up and just, accept the difference, love them in a positive way from a distance if needed to. But on that note, what do y'all think about Dave Chappelle? Was his comments accurate? Was he correct? A lot of people was upset about him, and a lot of people wanted to get him canceled.
Yo, a lot of comedy, the funny thing about it is it be true. Like, that's why it's so funny.
I don't know why people mad. That's how Richard Pryor was, Eddie Murphy. It's like, that's how they get their point across. Like, you if you don't understand the joke, you can't necessarily be sensitive to it. You gotta necessarily know what they're talking about in detail. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just a joke. You just gotta interpret it the way that the artist, like Dave Chappelle said, it's an art thing, man. You gotta see what the artist is trying to portray in the joke. It's not just, oh, I'm making fun of you. It's we all together. We are human, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it is a joke. You gotta laugh to keep from crying. You know what I'm saying?
I know that's right.
Yeah, and I feel a lot of people that are against it are still learning themselves. Some people don't like to know the truth about yourself. And at the end of the day, it's like, if you were a liar or a cheat and someone call you out on it, even though it could be funny, be like, hey, you be lying, you be cheating, bro. You like swiper on door. Someone might find it offensive where they be like, don't call me that, because they know deeper down you telling the truth. I don't want to hear that right now. And I feel like a lot of people may be in a circle where they're still trying to just coming out, trying to just like be true to themselves, and hearing what Dave Chappelle is saying is just a reminder of what trauma they probably been through, or what they still not loving about themselves that they still trying to fix, and they just don't want to hear that. So they like this, oh, you wrong for saying that about us. Like,
So you think he gonna get canceled?
No, you're not. Netflix are announcing not getting canceled.
I don't think so.
I mean, because he didn't say nothing wrong. He just, like how you said, everyone has a title to opinion. He kept it respectful. He spoke his side of the story, but he did it out of respect. He didn't do nothing disrespectful. Like I said, like how the Boozy saying, like, with his remarks. I mean, I get where him and the baby was coming from, but those was kind of disrespectful. So they had to get canceled a little bit off that.
They had to get canceled.
You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, they had to get canceled a little bit out that, but I definitely understand where they're coming from. But Dave Chappelle did his approach a little differently, and that's what he was just trying to let America know, just saying that, like, how our priorities is like kind of different. How you could really, not to bring up the baby situation, but it is out there. But how he could literally shoot someone, but it was a self-defense. It wasn't like on purpose, but he could shoot someone, and your career won't be on hold in self-defense. But if you say one remark about the LGBT community, you automatically get canceled. He just trying
What color was that person that he shot?
I believe he was African American.
We got to make sure that detail is out there. Man.
Exactly. I mean, I feel like that's and I feel like that's where they're. And honestly, I guess Skipper Shannon on the news, he actually was talking about it years ago, where he feel like we should owe everybody to the same accountable standard. So like if you be disrespectful to the LGBT community, if you get canceled, that's fine. But if you disrespectful a black person or a white person, you should also get canceled as well. Same. It should not just matter. It not should be different if it's just because of a community or its color of the skin.
And that's all Chappelle was saying.
Yeah, that's what Chappelle was saying. That's all the time. He was just saying that we so caught up on communities at the same time. We're still black, we're still white. It should be the same.
He also said, I don't know if you got to that part where he was saying, do you think someone from the LGBT, Q community, do you believe that they cannot be racist? Obviously you can be, race is a whole different factor, than gender, but it was just the fact that you got race always plays a part in how certain stuff get reacted to, you know what I'm saying? Just this is a minority thing.
And I'm glad you actually said that, because I feel like it's people's is stuck in the middle of between finding justice and real justice. Mm-hmm. For example, a lot of African Americans that are in the LGBT community, they feel like they're getting justice for their cause because they're black. I feel like on my end that they're not, because they're getting justice because of the community that they represent. Because I feel like gay, straight, gay, transgender, bisexual African American can get abused if they get slapped on a bus or get hit or get any type of mistreatment. They will get justice faster by them just being a straight black African American man or woman. Just because I feel like the community of the LGBT is getting so much high volume love right now, I feel like they making them priority. Like, oh, you slap a gay or bisexual woman, you're in trouble. Like, you're in trouble. You get canceled. We got you on everything. But if I was just a regular black African American male or woman that got hit, is always like, we're investigating for you.
It's normal. They don't even care.
It is normal. That's where I feel like a lot of African Americans, where they say like, oh, we all getting justice. Black Lives Matter is getting justice. No, it's so much love that you're getting in your community. That's what's getting y'all justice. Because if you look at it, like, that's what it is. And that's what the problem is, where people getting that confused, where I feel like hold everybody to the same standard.
Absolutely.
That's how I feel like. I mean, I love everybody, you know what I'm saying? That's how, like, at the end of the day, I cut you open, your blood red till your blood green, bro.
That's when you got
I'ma still love.
That's what I mean, I'll still love. I ain't gonna care. I gotta know what's going on. I gotta know what's going on first. If your blood green, then we need to talk. Like, I need to know. I don't know if you're trying to take over, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to love my enemy, like, you know what I'm saying? We gotta talk. But at the end of the day, I know from this point, everybody, black and white, brown, green, whatever, if we cut you up in your blood red, so we all the same, and that's how I look at it.
Sure.
And
I'm so tired of everything being so compartmentalized. Like, if we could just realize that we really are just one people. Like you said, you cut us open, guess what? We all bleed the same.
And it's so crazy because the racists will still try to justify that. They'll be like, yeah, it's bread. You're red. Your blood red though, but we allow it to be red. Like,
we allow it.
Look, white, we got a special red. Y'all not red. We ain't the same. Like, they always try to justify. So, like, you know what I'm saying? I just be like, bro, at the end of the day, we human. I look at it like, if aliens come down, they're not gonna say, oh, you white, you can slide. Right. They gonna be like, oh, you
each.
They gonna be like, you white, you black. They gonna be like, yeah. They're like this. All right. It not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter.
Chappelle said Clifford. Then he said,
oh yeah, when he said the Clifford, I can't say the word on it though. No, but if y'all want to listen to that segment, please go to Netflix and look up the Chappelle closer. We will now release that audio file just for children listening purposes. Thank you.
I know that's right. See no letter kids.
Yeah, but
We
well,
gotta really gotta just deprogram the things that don't make sense. You know, discrimination towards somebody because they have a different skin color, they were raised a different way. You know, that's gotta go the same way, the exact same way. We have to let go of the programming or, oh, you know, if you're gay or trans or, you know, you fall anywhere in that community, you're different, you're weird. We don't
Why
respect
does
that.
that matter?
Right. It shouldn't matter.
it shouldn't matter
All
at all.
go.
And it's kind of ironic because I know we get into closing time, but that what we just said should tie into all back to that mandate vaccine. How respect and love your neighbor, understand their choices. And I feel like if everybody just so understanding of everybody's choices, the world would be a better place. Now I feel like you got those people that's trying to be in greed, trying to have power, that like to be in control, that like to have control of certain fates, where you know racism does play involved, where that greed and power does play involved, not understanding is plays involved, and that's where you see the world still divided right now because like we should respect someone's personal decision, you know. And I feel like last year everybody don't want to still not talking about it that the NBA did not mandate no vaccines. The whole last year there was not one COVID case of last year.
They had them
And
in a bubble, all
that,
that, man.
no, not even in the bubble. I'm talking about the
I'm
last
just
season.
saying the fact that they pack all them people in that bubble, like, yeah, you get tested for it, but it's just like you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Anything
Yeah.
can happen.
And then you know, and then after the players complained about the bubble, they worked with them without the bubble last season, and no COVID cases. If people didn't get vaccinated, people got tested every couple of days, and then it was fine. I feel like they had a whole regimen system that worked, and you know, and respect the decision of others, where they should have still abide to that system. But at the end of the day, everything comes down to money. And I feel like that's what caused the world to be divided. A lot of organizations and companies went bankrupt because COVID. A lot of people had to go home. A lot of people they have remote opportunities. A lot of people lost a lot of money. And I feel like just at the end of the day, the mandatory vaccine is to get money, just to make them feel comfortable where they say, remember, when they first lost the vaccine, they said, hey, if you get the vaccine, the CDC announced, if you get the vaccine, you can walk out with no mask. You're good. You can just, you go out there, you're good. You don't need to wear a mask or whatever. And then COVID started cases rise up again. There's the CDC 2 months later announced, oh, you do need to wear a mask. You still contract COVID because they were trying to get everybody to feel like they was invincible with the vaccine. So nobody would be feared to go outside. They're like, oh, if I could get the vaccine, you got the vaccine, we could go to Walmart, we could go to the mall, we could go to concerts. Because at the end of the day, all them organizations want that money back because if everybody stay home, no one go eat. The companies don't make money. So I felt like that's what the mandate vaccine is doing now. They're trying to get everyone to say, hey, if you're vaccinated, you could get to go to the mall. If you're vaccinated, you get to go to eat. If you're vaccinated, you can go to school and stuff like that. And if you're not vaccinated, you get to stay home just because they're focused on money now, not really health, because no one is stating the negative effects of a vaccine. Like all you see is this, oh, if you get vaccinated, lower COVID cases, you still could transmit it, but it'll lower the cases. They're not saying like, hey, you may be a risk of having a reaction. No one want to say that because if you say that, people go like, oh, I don't want to be at risk of doing anything, so I'll take my chances. You know, and that's what it is. It's just, and I feel like people need to own up to that and just be real, be 100. But you know, the media is always like the dramatic, and express out an agenda. So if the government want everybody to eat chicken, they're gonna mandate that every company sell chicken. And they're like, if you don't eat chicken, if you want that broccoli, you gone. That's what it is.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. But if it's broke, fix it quick.
I'm not saying a lot of people feel like they're healthy right now. They had COVID, they fully recover. I know once again, I know a lot of people lost their lives. Rest in peace to those angels. But I'm saying like a lot of people feel like they're not broke. They're like, if I'm not broke, I'm totally fine. I could go to a concert. I don't have COVID. I recovered. Right. Why would I do something that can probably cause me to even get sick? Because they don't want to talk about that you could have a reaction of COVID. Like when you get the vaccine, you could get the chills, you could get the cough, you could get the headaches. Those are reactions of COVID. So it's like,
right.
why
just
do that?
be courteous, you know what I'm saying, to your neighbor, and just do your due diligence. It really doesn't take but 2 seconds to put a mask on. Seriously. It's just
I actually like the mask though. I feel like I feel like we all like a gang though. You feel me? Cause I be walking around, be like, "Oh, you got that pink mask?" I got the red today.
Like Power Rangers.
Yeah, like we like a whole, like we had a whole squad. Like it looked like, I feel like everybody having a mask a little more unified, because it's like all you see is their eyes. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know why.
Like uniforms.
Yeah, like it's like we all like together as a whole. Like you don't even see race at that point. It's like you just see they mask. Like you be like, dang, that mask cold. I got that on Amazon. I'm like, man, I might have to...
Yo, you know we need on the block, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that job is raw. Like if you look at the Black Lives Matter movement last year after the George Floyd, and you just see like all those pictures of everybody together with the mask, like that's so dope to me. Like everybody was like standing up together. They said F all that at the government. Like everybody was like, bro, I don't even give a fuck. Like we white, like we together, nigga. And like and everybody just sit there like this. Like that's just so dope to me. I wish I was out there for the riot though. I got scared. I ain't gonna cut. Y'all can talk about. I got scared. I was about to do it at Jacksonville, but then I got scared though. I was like the last minute. I saw somebody get shot with the little grenade guns. Not the grenade gun, the smoke grenades. They got shot in the head, and I was like, "Ooh!" I was like, "Yeah, I ain't about to." Cause my dumb butt would be on a car like this. I'll be like this, and my dumb butt would get shot immediately. They'd be like, "Cno is
Get him out of here, coach.
Get him out of here. Y'all see me like this."
But I mean, at least you would have went out like a G.
Definitely.
I know that. That's the only thing, because I like being unified like that, and I like fighting for a cause. But I just regret that I wasn't there for history, because I feel like when I had grandkids, like I can't be like, "That's your granddad right there." Like you see that was me. Like I was in the trenches.
You still supported the cause though.
I did, but it ain't gonna hit the same, because my picture ain't gonna be in the barbershops. Like I want my picture in the barbershops, bro.
I have a daughter. I thought about it. I really thought about it, but I had to think about her.
Yeah, I know. Like anything could happen, sadly, because the police still need to be reinformed. But that's another topic for another day. Any closing cases on what we talked about today? Anything about the mandate, Dave Chappelle? Any closing remarks?
No to the mandate.
No to the mandate. I need everybody to say no to the mandate in the comments.
No to the mandate, period.
I don't like to speak on anybody's job. I don't like to say Stephen A. Smith should get fired. I don't want to say none of that. They got a job to do. But I just felt like they're wrong in how they're approaching the Kyrie situation. I felt like it shouldn't matter. Like, I mean, that's his personal decision. And if he decided not to play at this moment, like, that should just be respected at the end of the day. Just because something is not a cure. Like, their argument against this is so hard. It's like the vaccine is a cure. Like, if you get vaccinated, like, you're good. And then he just saying, I'm not doing it. Like, that, then I understand. Like, hey, you need to do your job or not quit. But some people don't want to do that. And, and then one of the episodes, Shannon was talking about that he had a newborn son, and he was like, I bet your newborn got vaccinated, and you talk about your gets vaccinated. Like, that's just out of line. That's just uncalled for.
Yeah, no,
and I feel like
there's another way.
Yeah, that's why I don't like, and people don't like to call them out on it. And then when they get called out on it, they still sit in their chair, doing what they want to do. But Kyrie, we here for you, brother. We support your cause. And a lot of people that lose their jobs, so we here for you too. We saying no to the mandate vaccine. Once again, we're not saying no to the vaccine. We're saying no to the mandate. You should not be forced to make a personal decision. And this is Cnote, this is J.R, and this is Brittany. This is Meet Me on the Block. You can hit us on all social media at MMOTB. And we gonna be here every Tuesday and Saturdays. And we live.
You're.
Thanks, y'all. We out.
Peace.